Hello and welcome to another League of Legends ranked commentary, today playing as Fizz in the middle. Runes and Masteries once again will be down below in the comments. This is going to be a pretty interesting game, I think. It was a very fun game to play, I'll say that much. Wasn't a stomp game like that first Fizz one, or that first Twitch game I uploaded. So, hopefully you'll enjoy, hopefully you'll learn something, hopefully I'll learn something, realize mistakes I made, and I know I made a few of them in this game. Some good luck, have fun's going out, good stuff there, always good to, that sportsman-like conduct. Not for me, of course, I'm, hardcore focused, helping Xioden out with this leash on red. Give it a nice, strong leash. I think Varus actually stole one of the little lizards, but whatever. Get the lane. I'm landing against Elise. I'll slow down the game now that things are kind of getting underway. I'm going to talk for a little bit. Elise was second pick. I was assuming jungle Elise. I figured, no, Elise jungle. I was like third or fourth pick, so I was like second to last, or third to last, whatever. Either way, going to myself if I can find the right button. There we go. Elise versus Fizz. It's kind of an even matchup, a little bit in Elise's favor. As soon as she gets all her abilities, she basically has 6 abilities to Fizz's 3. And her abilities in spider form don't cost mana. So she can kind of spam them all day long. And leap on ya, speed up her attacks with spiderlings, repel out if she so chooses. Early gang top, push Jax out of lane, which is pretty good. Nasus up there, he's gonna be farming away all game long. I'm a little unsure of this matchup. Of the roles I usually play, here I kind of poke forward, trying to get the siege minion. I do get it. I take about 200 damage for it. Yeah, it's a 35 gold for 40 gold. I came out like 5 ahead after you factor in the health pot. Mid and top are probably my least familiar roles. There are champions for each of those lanes that I can play fairly well. But I generally gravitate a little more towards AD carry or support, and I'll even take jungle for mid. I'm mainly just not 100% familiar with them. Here, there's a huge minion wave. Xioden decides that's when he wants to go in, misses his knockup. We go in onto Elise, and here's a Mumu. I get cooned, have to flash out. Elise throws down the ignite. I throw down the ignite. Playful Trickster, troll pull out, and manage to pick up the first blood. Xioden, unfortunately, did he run out of mana? I don't want to rewind, but I'm curious. Is that accurate after death? If that's accurate after death, there's no reason he couldn't have gotten Nap, because his Q and E both were off cooldown, I believe. Now I'm just curious, I want to see that. Little replay lag. Let's just target Xioden, follow him for a second. Okay, they were still on cooldown. My mistake. Sorry, Xioden. Bottom lane, kind of getting bullied around all over the place. Mumu farming up some in the mid lane, pushing that minion wave to tower. This is the little skirmish mid lane. It came out in our favor, almost. I got the first blood, so that's 500 gold, plus the assist is 225 versus 600 gold. Both went to a Mumu. You can see here on the scoreboard. So it's not the worst trade possible. Switch to the gold. I'm a little behind on I'm slightly behind on CS, but I'm slightly ahead on gold. And where's Xioden? Again, I really should have had these lined up ahead of time, as I'm just going to do this quickly. Stunner and top lane. Here we go. Amumu is actually a lot ahead of Xioden at the moment from those 2 kills. Whatever, something we'll just have to deal with. Gank down bottom lane. Sona getting eaten alive. Trist, she's gonna have her rocket jump soon enough and she'll be able to get away from anything. Back mid lane. Elise is now ahead of me level-wise. Not by much, I believe. Let's switch out of this teamfight UI. I'm 1 or 2 CS away from leveling up. I was hoping to get 2 for that. I managed to get in and out without taking any damage. I went double Doran's Ring for a little bit of extra health, some ability power, and also the extra mana regen. Figure that would help out quite a bit. Elise went the same route, but she's sitting on 2 potions now to my none. And she still has more health in general. So you can see how this is going to get bad quickly. Over the course of this game, one thing I was trying to do for the duration of it was kind of keep an eye more on my minimap, where people are, where they're going. It's like here, you know, I'm kind of pushing the lane forward a little bit, but Amumu is top lane, so I don't have to worry about him bandage tossing out of a river bush and trying to kill me. So basically I want to push her to the tower. Hopefully she misses some CS. Hopefully I get a little damage on the tower. I just got my ultimate. For me, Elise doesn't have a proper ultimate. She still has 6 abilities to my now 4. But there's some opportunity to make a play here. I pushed the tower up. I kind of waited a little bit before I decided to back. See Elise spamming missing pings, because no one knows where I went. I'm just backing and healing and apparently buying a sapphire crystal for some extra mana. Which, in retrospect, I wanted to build into a Sheen. I probably should have gotten the book. I don't know what the book is called, but I probably should have gotten it. I should know what the book is called. Either way. Nothing good happening here walking back to lane. Elise heads off to her blue. I ping the missing. I ping blue buff, because that's where she was more likely than not going. Gank goes off bottom lane. Sono drops yet again. And despite the missing and the fact that I just pinged them over at blue buff, everyone decides to hang around bottom lane, despite the fact they just walked through a ward. Look, I'm not kidding. There was a ward at the dragon. They should have seen that coming. But nope, they're gonna go crazy here. By the time they were down here and they were that low, it's like, even if I go down there, I'm not gonna be able to do anything. So, Varus decides he's going in for Tristana, not the worst call in the world. Amumu ults, at least finishes him off. I'm putting damage on the tower mid lane, it's really the best I could have done. Had I roamed bottom, I could potentially have killed one of them, but I probably wouldn't have gotten out if I went in. So, half the health of the tower, I think the better of the 2 choices. Ideally, they would have just backed out bottom lane, but sometimes you can't have everything work out nicely. Ping Sona over there. Didn't have vision on Amumu, so I didn't want to go over. I probably could have killed Sona, but I didn't know where Amumu was, if he was over there also. And I wasn't exactly sure when Elise had come up, so it was possible she had made it back to lane as well. So I just played it safe, I pushed the lane up as much as I could, and I backed off. I pick up the Amplifying Tome, that's what it's called. Elise went with the Sork Shoes and an Amplifying Tome. I have the Sapphire Crystal. Those extra assists down bottom. She's up 500 gold, so she's able to get that. And apparently they're spamming like crap that I'm missing, which makes sense. Don't want me popping out of a bush, throwing a fish on someone. I decided this is the... Oh, okay, I'm like, oh, this is a bad idea on my part. Jarvan came in from behind. And flash shot, I want to get this kill. I need to get gold, I need to get back into this. Fortunately, top lane Nasus got ganked at the same time. Yeah, well, what can you do? I now have double buffs. So I'm happy about that. Bottom lane, apparently they're just about to pick off Tristana. We find the Mumu. I don't know what he was trying to accomplish here. They had no vision. Perhaps he was hoping to pick me off because I was kind of low. I don't know. But I get a whole bunch more damage on the tower. I'm trying to clear that wave to keep minions going. In retrospect, again, probably should have just kept attacking the tower. But again, I'm behind on gold by quite a bit. I'm actually slightly ahead at this point, so I actually caught back up. Let's go mid lane. Elise is back. I don't want to get cocooned and caught under tower. That would not be pretty, so I just back off. Get out of here. Jarvan pings for me to go get blue. I tell him go ahead, take it. I got about half of this blue buff left, so it actually works out for the best that I do this. I pick up Sheen right now, I think, or Sork shoes, which in retrospect might not have been the best idea I could have gone with. Or do I wait on the Sheen? I think I wait on the Sheen because I'm still sitting at about enough. I need 375 or 365. 365. I get my Sheen. I got my Sork boots. So now I head back into Lano. I got double buff. I got my Sheen all set and good to go. Elise pushed the lane, or I guess she kind of cleared the wave. Went back, farmed wolves. So now we have two people with double buff running around. I decided that this is the perfect opportunity to just kick the crap out of Elise. Jarvan on his way around. Sort of. And I go in way too early, and Jarvan went top. Nope. Again, in retrospect, I waited way too long to drop my ultimate. Had I done that right off the bat, I could have come out on that ahead. Top lane at least, they're killing Jax. His jump's about to be up, but he dropped before he can get away. Bottom lane, another little skirmish going on. Tristana brought down real low. Sona, I think, completely whiffed her crescendo. Might have caught Fiddle, I wasn't paying enough attention. More or less even, Varus is pretty low. Both supports are pretty well healed up. Stay on directed camera for a minute. Switch off that team fight UI because there's no actual fight going on. Oh, there are some good team fights in this game later. Let me tell you that now. But yeah, mid lane, that little skirmish with Elise, I really needed to start off with my ultimate. There was no real reason for me not to. I think I was trying to save it in hopes of roaming down bottom lane or something to accomplish something, but the fact that I waited to throw it just completely screwed me over. Elise now has double buffs, and she won that last trade, and she's now up on items. She has the ruby crystal, rather, and an amplifying tome over me, so not much I can do. I pinged the missing a little late, and she's walking over a ward right now. A danger ping goes out, and Elise turns back around. At this point, I don't believe I realized that Elise turned around, so I'm pushing the lane all nice and happily. And there she is, and had she jumped right on me, she probably could have killed me right there where I stood. But I guess she didn't know where Jarvan was, or where bot lane went, or so. Back to this not too great farming. So I'm not too comfortable with this lane all said and done. But I'm doing okay on CS. I'm only down by 12 or 13. And the gold, well, that last little screw-up, Elise is now up 600 or so. But for the most part, things still pretty even. She's also got the Kage's lucky pick for the moment. She's earned an extra 100 gold off that at this point. Mumu clearing up Dragon Pit. This is where things begin to take a turn for the worse. Jarvan kind of waiting in the breeze for a gank. Elise pulled back too far. I'm freezing the lane near my tower. I was talking about that a little in the Twitch video. That's how you do it. You leave these little caster minions alive. And then I decided that I'm just going to AoE down the wave and say screw it all. Although I killed, yeah. Elise last hitting. That actually worked out okay. A little skirmish going top lane. Not what I want to focus on. Now Elise is here with the minions, so I can't really freeze it outside of the tower range anymore. Ku, unfortunately, misses, barely. So we'll get off safe here. Minions push out. I believe I act like I'm going to roam off here. I throw a ward. Elise pinged missing. And I wander off bottom lane. And I don't remember this exact fight. I think it was a good thing I did. Waited for Jarvan to clear a ward. And because I went down there, Elise followed back through our jungle. We catch her out in the bush behind red buff, and we just kill her. Or force the flash. Did we kill her? Yes, we do kill her. Unfortunately, bottom lane, they did lose Varus and Fiddlesticks. We pursued down to the bot lane. They are quite low. Switch to the team fight window now that we're actually focused on the team fight. Amumu goes in. I jump right onto Sona. Amumu has too much. Jax is teleporting in. Unfortunately, Tristana gets Jarvan, gets the rocket jump, or gets the rocket jump away, and we can't quite finish her off. Jarvan at least made his way out of there safely. Nasus kind of just kept staying up top. I believe his teleport was down. Okay, that's understandable. I guess he teleported back to lane. I don't recall him being does he have any... One kill from that top lane Jax. He teleported back to lane. It's the biggest waste of a summoner possible. Jarvan, he kind of went a little too over-enthusiastically back into that. Do they get Dragon? I believe they get Dragon here. Fiddle waits way too long to go in. With Dragon on them, he could have ulted over this wall. Right on top of them. Did he have Flash? He had Flash up. He could have at least killed Amumu off the back of that. Varus wasn't terribly far behind, and he probably could have denied the Dragon. They had no smite. He possibly could have stolen it. Possibly the better call. I don't know how it would have turned out exactly, but yeah, it is what it is. So now Elise has her hunting guys completed. I was back with like 400 gold. I bought a... Actually, I backed with about 1,200 gold. I bought a blasting blasting wand, and the third Doran's ring. Just trying to make the most of my gold. Elise is still a little bit ahead, I believe. She's a little bit ahead. She has her haunting guys completed, so she's got more magic penetration, I should say. What's the difference here? 138 and 38.8% versus my 162, 23.8. So she's still putting out more damage than me at this point. But as soon as I get my Lich Bane completed, it's gonna make a world of difference. Go farm Wraiths again. That's pretty simple, straightforward. Kill them. Have a good time about it. Again, Elise pinging me missing. It's like I get the one mid laner who actually pings missing like non-stop. I roam bottom, hoping to pick up a kill here. We let them take mid tower here. Their mid tower is pretty low. I throw off my Chum the Waters on Sona. We get a kill out of it. Tristana, I believe, had not yet rocket jumped, so she would have just gotten away. Jarvan mid now defending that lane. I start heading back, hoping to be able to catch someone out. Do I turn around? No, I was kind of debating whether to catch a Mumu or not. Bottom lane is trying to kill Tristana. I Q Mumu, but his Tantrum and Despair, I got one of the two. Tantrum and Despair actually did a decent little chunk of damage to me, so I didn't want to stick on him and chase him. Wasn't 100% confident at this point. We are down 5k gold, 4.5k gold, which is a pretty little significant lead on at this point in the game. It's only 19 minutes in. We catch and kill Elise. More gold in my pocket. I think this is the first time I'm actually ahead of her. No, I'm still behind. So yeah, that extra tower and those extra now 40 minions. I do have 6 kills. I'm not terribly far behind. Could be a lot worse. I want to try to put damage on the tower at this point. It's down to below half. If I can kill that, we'll even up the gold a little bit. Amumu roaming back in our jungle, trying to steal Wraiths. Not going to happen. Here is another big mistake on my part. We have no vision. They're pinging Amumu, and by the time it's getting pinged, I'm screwed. I needed to Q into Amumu rather than use my Playful Trickster. Had I done that, I potentially could have gotten out. I accepted the fact that I was dead there. I tried to jump onto Tristana and do some extra damage, but it didn't come to fruition. Nothing came of it. Now they're all heading top lane. Good stuff, good stuff. Fighting with the UI again. Now it's just Nasus and Jarvan up here. Varus and Fiddle mid lane. It's 3v2 with Amumu coming up through the jungle. This is going to get kind of ugly pretty quickly. I'm still dead. And I believe I say at this point that I'm going to push a tower, stay safe, you know, do what you gotta do. And Varus walks right past the Mumu. And they're clearing the minion wave, which is fine. And here comes the dive. We end up getting completely and utterly zoned out of that, which is probably the smart thing. Between Crescendo and Curse of the Sad Mummy, we would have been in a world of hurt had they done that. Fortunately, nothing came of that tower push. They didn't get minions in time. Jax recalled. I'm trying to push this wave to the tower, and in comes teleport. Like, okay, I back off a little bit. I check the items. I look at it, it's like, oh, he's a Triforce. How bad could it possibly be? You know what? I'm gonna go for it. And I get eaten alive, but manage to escape barely. I have to use Chum the Waters to knock him up and slow him down. But I get out of there. They did catch Elise up top, and I believe they got Tristana off of that too, so very nice on that. They only traded Fiddle for it. I unfortunately didn't get anything out of this little split push I tried to do, but I got out alive. I end up grabbing a apparently just home guard boost to get out here and try to make something happen again. So nothing spectacular off of any of this. And against Elise. Elise now has her Leandri's Torment completed, as well as Tormented Shadows, Twisted Shadows, Spooky Ghosts, Twin Shadows. We got there eventually. I tried to jump over the wall, fell horribly. Doesn't particularly matter. Jax has no place to jump to. No wards. I don't know what he was hoping for at that wall. He could have possibly gotten out. I'm not going to complain. Got a kill off of it. Elise is not really getting ahead anymore. She's not getting the kills. Her CS really hasn't changed much in the past 5 minutes or so. I think she was 119 the last time I talked about it. So I'm catching up. I have my Lich Bane completed. I'm doing a decent amount of damage, but unfortunately, the only people I can really catch and execute are Sona and Tristana. Everyone else at this point can pretty much still kill me. We go in just a tiny bit too late. I playful trickster, I don't know where. I get Chum the Waters on Tristana. Tristana flashes a couple inches away from where she was. And we're doing what we can off the back of this. Pretty bad engage. Jarvan gonna get taken down. I managed to sneak out the back. So we end up going 3 for 1, and we don't get Dragon off of it. Nasus teleporting in. His Q farm at this point in the game is already getting to be pretty insane. Bonus damage off it is 426. So he's doing damage like a boss. Had I realized he was teleporting back in when he did, I would have gone in to help. I figured he'd get that kill on a Mumu, back out. I go take a mid tower. I probably would have gotten killed off pretty quickly. I think I definitely misplayed it though. I should have turned around and gone back for him. Elise throws out her spooky ghosts. They chase me down, don't manage to catch me. I have no vision on Jax until about right there. So I'm worried he's gonna catch me through the jungle. Had I tried and recall over here or here, I potentially could have gotten caught and killed. I ended up walking all the way to top lane and recalling out the tower. Either way, we got a tower off of that. He evened up the tower kills. Was still only about 4k gold behind, so we're not out of the game, but we certainly haven't won. It's also seemed like we have not been anywhere we need to be. I pick up a Seeker's Arm Guard at this point because Jax is beating the crap out of me, and I haven't run into Elise in like 10 minutes or so now. I'm more worried about Tristana, who's a target I want to go in and get Assassinates off on, and Jax, who previously showed me that I don't really stand a chance against him. Bot lane, I believe we take a tower here. I have no idea what the hell the best way to clear a wave is on Fizz, but I clear the wave, and as soon as I see Elise, she doesn't end up going in. I'm trying to save my playful trickster. The second I see the cocoon, I want to use it then to hopefully avoid it altogether, rather than getting caught and having to try and escape. If I get cocooned, she can rappel right down onto me, which would be bad. And Sona decides this is the perfect time to clear a ward when we're running right at her. She gets caught out, she blows her crescendo on us. I throw my ultimate, we kill her anyway. So it's now a 5v4 power play. I realized they were over here. We catch them with the ward or something. I don't know how I saw them, but I pinged. I want to go after these guys. I was hoping they were sitting over here or going somewhere else. They were a little bit further ahead than I thought, so I pinged to go bottom lane here and actually finally take that tower. Now we can attempt to go kill them, but they're at a tower, so, you know, why risk it? This turns out pretty good. We end up taking the tower. They really don't have a way to contest it. Nasus is doing his thing like a boss up top lane, and, you know, the amount of Q farm he has is insane at this point. Why am I not switching myself? There we go. Jack's teleporting in. We still don't manage to get that tower. Fiddle shows up, though, and the fight is on. Unfortunately, I didn't play that as well as I should have. I could have jumped onto Elise and done some fancy stuff then. Either way, we managed to pick up both of them. Sona wisely deciding to run the hell away from that.
Blue team double kill.
I believe... No, okay, we didn't get a shutdown off that. Unfortunately, Varus stuck around and tried to kill Sona. Didn't quite pan out. So our 2 for 2 turned into a 3 for 2. Again, not good for us. Although our gold lead has now shrunk to only a 3k gold lead. 4k. 3k. 3k. Yeah, we're going to stick with 3k this time. Meanwhile, all that was going on, Nasus split pushing, takes a tower top lane. It's now down to a 2.5k gold lead. Or deficit, I should say. Home guarding out, we'll switch back to the directed camera. Nothing going on with me running back and forth to lane. Let's speed things up also. This has been in real time since the beginning. Nothing going on, no real reason to be in real time. Some farming bot lane. I'm just like, I want this tower. This gets bad here. Jarvan gets caught. Amumu more or less whiffs his Curse of the Sad Mummy. I'm in debate mode here. Do I want Fiddle? Unfortunately, his ult ends up getting wasted. Nasus gets caught with the Crescendo. I pushed the wave out quick. I really should have left earlier. But the minions took the tower, so that turns out okay. I'm coming in from behind. I'm not sure what I want to do. I jump on Sona, get her out of the way. And unfortunately, don't manage to escape. My flash wasn't up. I was hoping to get over the wall or Playful Trickster away down the bot lane. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. Had I recalled from bottom lane and come back in with Varus and Nasus, we could have killed more of them here. At this point, I'm thinking, oh, I completely just threw this game. You know, I went in, I killed the support. Wow. Big deal. No one cares. But Varus then turned around. He kind of ran into a 1v4 and they just turned on him and killed him. Had he waited a moment for Nasus to go in first, they could have made something happen off of that. And they ping Dragon. I ping on the way to Baron. Because if they're going to try Baron right there, they were going to be low as hell. We could have picked up a couple kills and turned that terrible, terrible fight mid lane back around. They've increased their gold lead back up to 4.5k, so we're falling behind once again. They have an inhibitor down now. All the lanes are going to be pushing. They have super minions heading down mid lane. We are in a bad spot. We head over to take Dragon. You know, gotta get those map objectives, keep ourselves in this thing. Surprisingly, other than one or two little things, someone asked if Fiddle was trolling this game at some point, I think. Other than that, there was no raging. It was actually quite impressive from behalf of the team. Yeah, so surprisingly, everyone kept up. One of my big things I always do, I throw out good jobs after every good play. You know, something good happens. Oh, you got the tower? Good job. I catch Elise. I am strong enough at this point to kill her, though narrowly. I completely whiffed my Playful Trickster. I used it at the same time she repelled. What I really needed to do was wait for her to repel, Q her, then Playful Trickster afterwards. I would have saved myself a lot of extra damage. We kind of catch them over by Baron. Fiddle gets killed. We kill their jungler, so we basically shut down any Baron attempts. Jarvan jumping over the wall, catching Tristana. Not... Did we get... I believe we get a kill on Sona. I managed to playful Trickster across the wall. Jax... What the hell happened to Jax? We're actually going to rewind for that because I'm curious. Jax continued trying to solo Baron, apparently. How close did he get? Not very. Had he come over here, he probably could have picked up 2 kills with all 3 of them combined. I check Baron. I managed to screw up Playful Trickster and hit Baron, so I take a bunch of extra damage. Recalling on a ward like a boss. They try to surrender here. I didn't notice that in-game at all, actually. Kind of surprising. Wonder who... Does it say who started it? I was kind of curious who started that. Varus gets caught out bottom line. Yep. Yeah, Throw City. We're closing in on the gold lead, and we give over a kill. Varus did come out with a Last Whisper off of that, though, so kind of worth it. Tristana's pretty fed, though. Last Whisper, Blade of the Rune King, Static Shiv, and a Vamp Scepter to less than that. How much less? 2k gold left, so an item less, basically. I'm sticking over here with Fiddle. Here comes another royal screw-up on my part. I am sitting on a ward. There was no reason for me to be over here. The fact that Fiddle saw wards here and here should have been a pretty good indication. I realized that I'm pretty much screwed. No one's near me. Tristana can just rocket jump over and kill me. I'm going to try to playful Trickster across the wall and burst her down. I utterly fail the jump across the wall, and I single-handedly give them Dragon. So, horrible, horrible play on my part. Or, if I said Dragon, I mean Baron. So, we're not even going to contest this one. At this point, I'm like, great, they already had the middle inhibitor down. I just completely threw and gave Baron. No idea what Fiddle was doing over there. There was zero reason whatsoever to be there. Wolves just respawned. They were down prior to that. Blue buff was down. We knew they were at Baron. We knew they had finished Baron. We just should not have been over there. This, I believe, is where the game starts to turn around. I come up with the home guard boots up. Let's slow this down a little bit. Varus goes in with Nasus. Varus lands a fairly bad Chains of Corruption. He gets dropped. I jump onto Tristana with everything I have, shut her down, jump up on the Playful Trickster. Zhonya's wait off my cooldown timers. As soon as they're up, top Jax. I'm fortunately still inside the wall, so I can still do this. I don't want to get onto and be auto-attacking Fizz Amumu too much, because I don't know how much damage she's going to be able to do. I'm pretty low. I don't want to get burst down. So I try to dash away. Had I kept running away, I potentially could have survived long enough for my cooldowns to come back down. Either way, Jarvan, we came out of that 3 for 3, and they had Baron. I'm not sure what was up with that flag toss. I think he might have been trying to get it over the wall, and it just didn't happen. But we just beat them. 3v5, more or less. Because I don't think all 5 of us were there during that team fight at any point in time. Basically, this is the point where we realized, hey, they had Baron. We just completely and utterly slaughtered them. Relatively speaking. So, now we're thinking, hey, you know what? We could actually turn this around, possibly. At this point, I'm raking in the kills. I'm getting pretty powerful. I have my Zhonya's completed, I have my Lich Bane completed, I have a needlessly large rod, and we're still behind. I'm still behind. Nasus is behind, if not for the fact that he's been farming just non-stop hardcore farm mode top lane. But we're trying desperately here to save that middle inhibitor, trying to make sure it respawns, or it doesn't get taken down again. It had just respawned. Let's go take a look at the other team in the meantime. Hey, look, it's Jax. Hey, look, it's Jax. Meanwhile, back in our base, valiant fighting is occurring to save this inhibitor. Meanwhile, back in their base, oh look, Jax is teleporting. Where is he going? There it is, we're still in halftime, I don't know why we're in halftime. Teleports into the middle of things, takes the inhibitor down, and the minions probably could have taken it on their own. They could have just strolled in on their own afterwards and just taken it. We come in for this fight. Again, Jax is pretty, he's pretty beefy. I jump onto Sona. She's pretty squishy. She hasn't used her crescendo yet. I was hoping to burst her down before she had a chance to use it. I don't want to use Chum the Waters on Sona. Let's see, I did save it. It's a good thing I saved it too. Tristana's coming in. Amumu uses Curse of the Sand Mommy to get off. I throw Chum the Waters through the wall, land it right on Amumu. We jump in, we get the kill. Tristana is horribly out of position. And she drops as well. Elise now is fighting Varus and Nautilus, and Nasus over here. She gets taken down as well. We just aced the team, 0 for 5, and some of them still had Baron. We're still behind on gold. We have this in team fights. The problem is, the first half of the game, we never grouped up for team fights. Nasus, those couple times I was split pushing bottom, that's where Nasus needed to be. He had teleport. Whenever he had teleport up, he should have been wherever the rest of the team wasn't, that's where he should have been. Team fight breaks out, teleport to the nearest ward. Team fight's about to break out, teleport to the minion in the middle of the fight. I don't know if this Fiddle would have dropped the ward mid-fight to kind of, why are we staring at a blank screen, I don't know. Buff the ace, I push the bottom lane up a little bit, get some more farm, head over, steal the blue buff. Wasn't too sure about taking Dragon, so I went for the blue buff steal. Get myself some cooldown reduction, that means more killing awesomeness for me. I think we turn around and go do Dragon. I'm about to recall, Jarvan starts it. I fail to Playful Trickster across the wall. I'm not familiar with Fizz, so... Apparently not one of the spots you can. I believe you can do it over here. But I didn't know that. I tried, it didn't work. 'Tis the life. 'Tis life. Whatever. C'est la vie. Something. I don't know. Whatever. Moving on. So, me and Nasus are the most fed people on the team. We're still behind their most fed people, and we're not much ahead of their other two members of the team. So, things are pretty much even across the board. We're just barely behind. Gold is spread out enough. No one actually has an insane amount of gold. Fortunately, I have most of the kills at this point, but Nasus, man mode beast farming. We're not in the Rector camera, so we're looking at an empty spot of the screen again. So all in all, the gold is actually spread out all over the place. I'm not running away with all of it. It might not have happened yet. There's 1 or 2 spots. I think it was that little Elise chase before. I didn't go in for the kill. I didn't queue Elise to get the kill. I let someone else grab it, just to spread out the gold. You keep all your eggs in one basket, and they happen to kill you, you're gonna have a bad time, because then all your damage is gone. So by spreading the gold out, you have a bunch of people pretty evenly farmed out. We're gonna slow things down, switch to team fight view. Nasus teleporting in like a boss, getting right into the thick of things. We lose the turret anyway. I'm getting hit by Tristana over the wall. I Playful Trickster backwards. I Q her across the wall. I think I throw Chum the Waters down. Or no, I just walk up and stab her, apparently. Did I Chum the Waters at any point? Did I? Yeah, apparently I missed it somewhere. Either way, again, we go 1 for 5. Unfortunately, they got a tower off of that. And I decided, again, my infinite wisdom, oh, I'm gonna push bottom, guys. Go mid, go mid. I got that bottom tower. Fizz apparently not the greatest split pusher in the game. You can see as things start happening here. Now, I'm still on that first group of minions. There we go, moving forward. There's that second group of minions. They're working on that tower. They get that tower. I just killed the second group of minions. And they took the inhibitor. And I just get to the tower. Switch down here. They're pinging me back because I'm the only person left, basically. I should have, in retrospect. I wasn't sure how far out they were. They had Fiddle in chat. He was dead, so he was calling out the respawn times, 5, 10, whatever. It was like 5, and then I'm getting spam pinged as I'm throwing stuff around on my desk. Go me. So, we're in a team fight. UI needlessly. I'll hopefully get better with that as time goes on. Baron is up in 15 seconds. We have very little vision in the area. We have no vision on Baron itself. We have one ward that's about to expire, and I believe a Mumu kills it. They're clearing it out. They didn't spot that one ward over here. So we have a little bit of vision. We know that they're there. At this point, I've given up on that bottom lane. Me trying to take that as much as I did was horrible. We kind of wait, let them start Baron up a little bit. We get some vision down. Gonna slow things down, switch to teamfight UI. Jax jumps on me, I playful trickster away. Chum the waters, misses. I'm getting jumped on, I'm out of position. Zhonya's, pop that. Tristana comes back in. She lets me get into range of her. I burst her down for most of her health. I get the ignite off with my W, she drops. Everyone else was trapped in Jarvan's Cataclysm. And we just wipe out the rest of the team. Guardian Angel and Varus did get popped. He had just gotten that. That's all it took. We turned that around from a really close, tough game. At this point, they're going to rush down the middle and just end it right here. I think I pinged free Baron, but winning the game turned out to be pretty well. Or the good option. Next time around, your cooldowns might not be up. Someone gets caught and killed out. If you can win the game outright, definitely win the game outright as opposed to going and farming or killing Baron and then just, doing nothing with it and relying on the next team fight. I felt bad for Tristana during this. We're in half speed here. Yes, normal speed. I was all over Tristana for most of those fights. The fact that she was dead, they went most for damage. Varus was staying alive pretty well. Between Jarvan and Nasus, he was getting a ton of peel. Nasus had the Randuins. So, once Varus got that Guardian Angel, he had Blade of the Rune King to slow people down. And Jax was going for me. That was probably the biggest mistake. If we go back to that last team fight, if I can find it. Let's go back a little further. Actually, was someone I don't know what happened there. I'm just going to slow this down a ton as this fight starts to go in here. We're going to just keep an eye on where Jax is. He is their frontliner. Him and Amumu need to be getting into the thick of things, zoning out Varus, zoning out me. I'm pretty much able to avoid most of the damage. What they need to be doing is have one person peel, and big mistake here, Amumu. Actually, what the hell did I just flash for Tristana? Who made that first flip? Now I'm curious here. Who flashed? Was it Jax? It was Jax trying to get a stun off? Let's just speed this up a little bit. Alright, here we go. Jax has flash, Tristana has flash, Amumu has flash. Varus has flash. Everyone has flash on the left-hand side. I'm going to pause this as soon as that flash goes off. We're going to figure this out. I believe it's Jax. I hear a flash. Varus flashed into the fight. Probably generally not the best thing to do. It worked out okay in this case. Let's go ahead and resume this. Jax lands on me, doesn't get his stun off. He hadn't stunned before he jumped, so he wasn't able to lock me down. He flashes. He doesn't get his stun off, does he? Now I'm stunned. They're all jumping on me. Zhonya's one hit from death. Varus, piercing arrow going across the whole lot of them. Chain of Corruption is propagating through the bulk of them. Tristana just now starting to get more hits off onto people. Jax, by the time he switched around and started getting onto other people he needed to get onto, basically the entire team blew everything they had on me, and they didn't kill me. This happened in most of the fights. Tristana was just down and out for all of them. Yeah, I died, but you know what? Off the back of me diving like that and taking Tristana out, off the back of Nasus just having, baller, super insane 648 damage on his Q. All combined, math time, 110, 360. He's doing over 1,000 damage with his Q. Just for shits and giggles. I want to watch him Q somebody. And where is it? Waiting for his Q to light up. Was that it? No, that was his Q right there. He took down a Mumu by about a quarter to a fifth of his health bar. So, all said and done, pretty close game through and through. We really didn't come up with a lead until right at the end. Why are we at normal speed again? So yeah, most games you're never down and out unless someone AFKs the fountain, someone else AFKs the fountain, First Bloods, FF at 20 kind of nonsense. You never down and out. I made a bunch of mistakes. I was in a couple places I shouldn't have been. I did a bunch of stuff like pushing that bottom lane like an idiot. We could have had this game under wraps much earlier had I been grouping up for team fights. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. I certainly observed quite a few mistakes that I made that hopefully I will not make next time. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, rate, and/or subscribe, and have a great day.